People don't understand that Ukraine is not going to win this war. Ukraine's military capability is nowhere near Russia's. Russia is the second largest arms manufacturer and exporter in the world. It has up to 20% of the world's share when it comes to military exports. Furthermore, it has stuck piles of weapons since the 1960s, which were stockpiled for a possible World War III with America. These missiles, tanks, artillery are still usable, as they have not been sitting out in the elements, as they have been stored in facilities designed to maintain their conditions. I cannot genuinely see a way that Russia is going to lose to Ukraine, and these are my reasons. Russia has an arms manufacturing economy. One of the ways that Russia maintains its GDP after settling its natural resources of oil and gas is the production and the export of military equipment. Russia is the biggest exporter of military equipment to India and China. How can Ukraine compete with a country that produces its own weapons? Now, the sanctions may slow down its military manufacturing, but when Iran was put on the same sanctions, it was still able to maintain a defense against the Iraqis, despite the help that the Iraqis were getting from America and the West. But this isn't Iran, this is Russia. So imagine what Russia can do, despite all of the sanctions that America is placing on it. This is going to intensify and ignite Russia's arms manufacturing capability, and it's going to make Russia become more self-sufficient in its homegrown technology, such as drones, medium, and to long-range missile. And it's going to force Russia to upgrade and update its current military attitude for the future. What America essentially has done by instigating the war in Ukraine is to help Russia modernize its army, just like Iran modernized its army after the war with Iraq when it was placed under sanctions and it was forced to produce weaponry domestically. Secondly, why Russia is not going to lose this war is because America's support for Ukraine will fade away if the supposed counteroffensive doesn't happen, or it's not successful. The U.S. will withdraw its support for Ukraine, and it will then concentrate on starting another war in another part of the world, as this is what the CIA and the Pentagon do. The best hope for Ukraine is to try to get some sort of peace, so that its people are not used as cannon fodder for geopolitical goals of the Pentagon. Thirdly, Russia, with the help of Iran, is going to ramp up its drone technology. Once Russia starts mass producing drones, and these drones are then given the ability to take out artillery and tanks, then the ability for the Russians to be able to take out the tanks and the artillery provided to the Ukrainians will surpass anything that the Ukrainians will be able to purchase from the West. Then the American backing will fade away, because the Americans are not in the business of investing in a country for more than a couple of years, as has been witnessed with Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria. America has a mentality of getting involved in a country, and then after a few years getting bored and moving on, all the while completely underestimating the situation in that country and not understanding its local geopolitical situation, and then becoming stagnated in that country's localized geopolitical quicksand.